7th of March, Rabbi First Pierke Avos Esther.
Thank you. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. She would sum it up. She here in Shlem. Here of Zoom, the first year, because Esther, several weeks away, Rosh Chodesh Adar is upon us, Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni. Purim will be with us in approximately 2 days, more than 2 weeks from now. So we're proceeding in the second parak of Megillas Esther. Okay, we left off with Pasuk Yud Aleph, if I'm mistaken. Second parak, Pasuk Yud Aleph. Is that where we left off exactly?
That's exactly where we left off.
Okay, very good. Yes, who would like to read? Any volunteers?
I do.
Fine. Please go ahead.
L'chol yom v'yom Mordechai mishalech livnei chatzar beis hanashim l'das es shalom Esther uma ge'aseh ba. So each and every day, Mordecai walked in front of the courtyard of the house of the women to know the peace of Esther. In other words, what was going on with Esther? Uma, yes, and what was being done with her.
Right. Very good. Okay.
Okay, so back to our document.
Yes, please.
L'chol yom v'yom Mordechai mishalech v'gomer. Ma yaseh ba v'machla uv'mishte. What she was eating and drinking?
Yeah. Maya, so he was concerned with her what she was eating and drinking, right? That's sort of a big chiddush. I mean, what before you saw this medrash, what did you think Mordechai was interested in? Let's.
Is she alive? Is she in prison?
Oh no. See, the basuos were the girls weren't taken to be put into prison now. No,
But what if they discovered that she lied about her background? Or they discovered, I'm sorry, not that she lied, but they discovered her background. Anti-Semitism.
right?
Achashverosh hated the Jews, right?
Most likely, yeah. That's pretty clear. Yeah.
When it says Esther's well-being, good morning,
Yeah.
Rabbi, everybody else.
Yeah. Good morning, Ruth.
Good morning, everybody.
It's an all-inclusive term, isn't it?
Yeah. The Ibn Ezra says im tzricha refuim, if she needed any doctors. Is she healthy? Is she healthy? Maybe she caught a cold, a flu.
Mhm.
You know. I mean, but why would Mordecai think he's personally responsible for that? I mean, obviously she's under the care of the guardians of the harem. I'm sure they were part of their royal responsibilities was to make sure that the women in the harem were kept in good condition, no?
Mhm.
Yeah, you think so?
But on the other hand, she was
What-
torn from him. He wasn't. She didn't want to go. He didn't want her to go. So if he wanted her to go, and she wanted to go, then so the responsibility would be, as far as he was concerned, on Achashverosh. But because I wanted it all to be, But since they didn't want her to be, he still feels responsible, and he probably still is responsible for her.
That Mordecai is responsible. I'm not sure. I mean, Mordecai didn't want her to go. I mean, she was really taken apparently by force, like all the other women were taken by force, right? I mean, I imagine there was someone wanted to go willingly, but in general, most of the women were taken by against their will, right? As we said, it wasn't a very promising prospect to be taken to the harem of the king. I mean, on one hand, I guess everything will be taken care of you, but you kind of can have a sort of a very um, very strange kind of a life living in the harem of the king. Um, so I don't know. I would think that so the Ebenezer, like I said, Ebenezer, if she needed a four, but that's a little bit difficult because, as I said, I would imagine that kind of thing would be taken care of by the ministers and the managers of the harem to make sure the women are healthy. You don't want to send diseased women to the king, right? That's not going to be very good for their job profile, no?
And
So,
well-being also means the mental well-being.
so that could, I mean, that's an idea. I mean, to see, to keep her in good spirits. I'm sure he was, that, but under the circumstances, she might need chizuk and things like this. Apparently, I mean, there's a question here. How is he supposed to ladas sholem est? How is he supposed to find out the her situation? Like, well, what's he supposed to do? Send the personal requests to see how his look. If there are two pshatim, one that Esther was his daughter or adopted daughter, let's put it that way, or his wife. She could have been an adopted daughter and also his wife as well. But how's Morris supposed to find out about you know Esther's welfare? How's he supposed to do that? Send emails or something like that?
Mm.
I'm just thinking
Seemed to be
practically.
risking her discovery if it becomes known that this Jewish man is very interested in her.
Right. So that makes it even more difficult. Here he is. I mean, okay, Mordecai, as we'll see, was accepted as part of the courtier of the king, right? And but how is he supposed to inquire and know about Esther's welfare without mm, giving away some connection between the two of them? I mean, and the whole thing is really it baffles me. I mean, they knew from where Esther was taken. They knew she was taken from a Jewish house. No, when the royal um, women catchers of Ahasuerus came and took Esther from, they know where they took her from. Didn't they see there was a mezuzah on the door? Didn't they realize that this was a Jewish house, a Jewish woman that they're taking? I don't know. Kind of baffling. I don't know.
I mean, it could be that maybe they hid her for a while, but then they realized they weren't going to succeed. They were going to get caught. And so maybe they sent her to somewhere else that, she would get caught in a different place.
Maybe they sort of just discovered her on the street or something like that, huh?
Yeah, that's one possibility. The other possibility is that they were rounding up hundreds of women. Maybe they weren't keeping such careful records about who came from where.
Right.
The women catchers didn't know that Ahasuerus was going to care about this.
Right. Uh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking something else, and that was that
Sure.
um maybe he was interested in gossip. In other words, if something went wrong with Esther, like for example, it was discovered that she was sneaking in kosher food, that that would be in the rumor mill. People would be gossiping about her.
Right.
He would hear that without necessarily, inquiring. Maybe that's how he planned to find out. Uh, in other words, no news is good news. He's listening around, and if he doesn't hear anything, then he says, "Okay, must be everything's fine."
Mm-hmm. Meaning that, I mean, it says here, right, it says, "B'chol yom yom is chalek lifnei chatzer beis hanashim." He would go, he would walk, somebody would walk he would walk past the chutzner to the base of the courtyard to the harem. He would walk past so that could be just part of his way of going into the palace. He would stop by
And
and
maybe
as you said, probably,
he would talk to whoever he bumped into, say, "Oh, boy, that harem, something, isn't it?" And try and tease out of the person the latest gossip.
uh, could be something like that. So it obviously would have to be done in some type of a secretive way.
I was also thinking that maybe the reason he was interested in this detail, as opposed to, her health or whatever else we mentioned, is that Esther had to maintain her purity, her spiritual purity. She had to remain a tzedekis in order to be meritorious, so that she would succeed. And maybe he was worried that if she started compromising on halacha, that she would relinquish her position of being tahor. And so that was the primary concern that he had at that point.
Mhm.
Well,
Right.
I've got here Midrash says that Esther's well-being meant to answer ritual questions.
Uh, ritual. Okay. I understand. That means.
Oh, it says here.
uh So that means they would have some kind of communication,
Apparently, he was walking around the harem.
right?
It says here that the verb used in this verse is not a cholech, walk, but mischalech, walked about, that is strolled around the court of the harem. So that his
Right.
true
Good.
of inquiring after Esther's welfare would not be realized by the guards. That's Ma'am lawyers. Yes, he didn't make it obvious he was interested in Esther by walking about the home. He was accepted as part of the court already.
Yes. Right. That's true. So he could freely walk over there. Right. Uh-huh. I see that according to the Medrash, it says Ladas Sholem Esther Shlo Yasela Kashafim. They shouldn't put on Esther a spell or sorcery. They shouldn't use any black magic on Esther.
Hmm. What was
So by
who they do this and what would they do it for?
Oh, so that's what the Medrash mentioned, that the women, the other women, as part of the competition, right? They would try and use sorcery to make the other women unfavorable
Ah,
and to make themselves more favorable. That's the Mishnah Avos. Mishnah Avos says, right? 1 second, let me find it here. I think it's in the 5th parak. The 4th parak, perhaps. Marba. No, sorry again. Yeah, it's in the 2nd parak. Mishnah in the 2nd parak of Avos says Marba Nashi Marba Shafim. Person has more wives, he has more sorcery.
Uh-huh.
Right? Because they use we could see about that. That's another thing. So and also the Maral says they maybe would use sorcery to find out from where she was. They knew she's hiding her nationality, so maybe they would try and use shuffling sorcery to find her out where she was there, and also that to make her less appealing to the king in some way or another, right?
It wouldn't work on her being a Jew or Jewess.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point.
And then that and deduce, couldn't they?
Excuse me?
Couldn't they deduce from it not working on her that she was Jewish?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm not sure if sorcery is such an exact science that if it doesn't work, they can assume those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we know that sorcery worked on Moshe. They were able to see that his downfall was be through water.
Yeah, well, they were able to see that's sort of like foreseeing the future. That's not really sorcery in the way that it's used to have an effect on a person. Okay, so we have a few different ways of understanding what Mordecai's intention was and how he went about doing this. Okay. Very good. Okay, let's continue on, I think, with the next
Back to the Megillah.
yes, please.
Where
Uva Gia Tor Na Ra B'Na'ara Lavo El Hamelech Achashverosh Miketz Hayos La Kadas Hanashim Shim Asar Chodesh Ki Kain Yim Leu Yemei Merukehem Shisha Chadashim V'Shemen Ha Mor V'Shisha Chadashim Bibasamim Uve Tamruke Hadashim. So when it came her turn, I'm sorry, every girl had a turn to come to the king, Agashverosh. And after she had finished the 12, I'm sorry, not end, after to come to Achashverosh after she finished the 12 months femininity course. This was the period of her beauty treatment, 6 months with myrrh oil and 6 months with perfumes and feminine cosmetics.
Right.
So that's 12. Yud bet. Uve hagi tor na'ara. When it came to be the turn of the girl, Erich Anyin Kol Nara.
You mean each one that the Eric Nina, this is the time for each one of the women was given this treatment.
Shisha Chadashim B'Shemen Hamor. 6 months with the oil of myrrh. Tanya Rebbe Yehuda Omer Anafkonim Shemen Zayis Solo Hevi Shalish. It's taught in a brisa. Rebbe Yehuda said, I don't know what anafakoni.
They would be Shemin Zayas that they would on they would I think be what do you call it? Not like anointed. I think they would use anointing. They would be anointed with the Shemin Zayas Shlo Avi Shlish. Shemin Zayas is a very special Shemin Zayas that was taken from very young olives.
Velama Sakin Osa. Shemashir Es Hashar Ume Aden Es Havishar. I don't know.
Lama, Sagan, why did they anoint the women with the oil for such a long time? Shemishar es hashar, they removes the skin, the hair, and adiness abasa, and tenderizes the flesh. They shouldn't have any body hairs, and they should be very, very soft. The women.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to the next pasuk.
All right. Uvezeh Hanara Ba'a El Hamelech Ace Kol Asher Tomar Yinatain La Lavo Ima Mi Base Hanashim Ad Base Hamelech Be'erev He Ba'a Uve Boker He Shava El Base Hanashim Shani El Yad Shash Gaz Saris Hamelech Shomer Hapilag Shim Lo Savo Od El Hamelech Ki Im Chafetz Ba Hamelech V'nikraa Bashem. Okay, so with that, the girl would come to the king. All that she wanted to bring from the harem to the king's palace would be given to her In the evening, she would arrive, and in the morning, she would return to the second harem under Shah Ashgaz, a royal minister, keeper of the concubines. She would not come back to the king unless the king wanted her, whereupon she would be summoned by name. Okay, so that's 13 and 14.
Right. Let's see the measure.
Uvazeh Hanar Ba'a El Hamelech. And with this, the girl would go before the king. Kedei Shalo Savo Vidaga El Hamelech. In order that she should not go, what is this word? Vadaga.
I think that Bediga without worry or concern.
Without concern. She should go without concern to the king because she's got all this beautification stuff going on. And she feels confident.
Right. Whatever she wanted to go, wanted to take a teddy bear, she could take a teddy bear, wanted to go with a bicycle, get a bicycle, wanted to go, wanted to take a crossword puzzle with her. Whatever she wanted to take, she could take so that she would be in a good mood. And as you said, they'd be confident.
Vishalo Tehei Atzovas Ruach. There should not be Atzovas is what worry.
That's Suv is like depressed or sorry, in a sad state of mind.
Okay, so she shouldn't have a depressed spirit. V'roi ledavar shamar hamelech leEsther ma lecha Esther hamalka. And it's appropriate for the thing that was said by the king to Esther. What is it you want, Esther? Queen Esther. But she's not queen yet. Why is it saying Queen Esther?
No, it says Ryladover. He wants to give a proof that it's not proper to go to the king in a sad state of mind. And the Ryladover is that when Esther came in and Ahasuerus saw that she was not in such a good mood, he asked about what's going on.
Okay. Eskola shared Tomar Vinasan La Lavo Ima. All that she requested was given to her to go with her. V'ha-devarim nichrin es kol asher tomar yinatain la lavo ima davar okay ima and the things what is nichrin?
So the Dar Nikarim, that's Kolashet Tomer Yitain La. Things which would be I think like unique. Any unique thing she wanted to bring, she was out to bring. Because again, don't forget the pasuk said that once the women were brought to the king, they wouldn't see the king again unless he called them and he requested them by name, right?
right,
So you can understand they'd be very concerned that this is their one and only chance with the king, and they're not going to get another chance with the king. And again, don't forget, this was a chance to be the queen, right?
right,
So so they wanted to make, their entrance and their appearance and their time with Ahasuerus very memorable. That he's seeing a lot of women, and so this one's gonna try and impress him with that. This one's gonna try and impress him with that. So he'll remember them. Oh, this was the one who came in on the riding a unicorn. That was very important. That was very impressive. And what's her name? Yeah, I forgot. What's her name? Oh, yeah, that's her name. So we'll call her. Maybe she'll get called back again. Right? So they were allowed to they bring anything they wanted with them to Ahasuerus, so they should make their time with Ahasuerus as memorable as possible. This one brought two little Chiquita dogs with her. This brought her, yeah,
Asher, Es Kol Asher, uh, Tomar, Yinatain La. Alternatively, all that she requested was given to her. Kol Malvush Uvigad Shet Tomar Hayu Nosnin La Lavo Ima. All, what is Malvush?
any type of clothes she wanted to wear. She could wear they'd get her any kind of clothes. This one wanted I don't know, a red dress. This one wanted a pink polka dot dress. So anything she wanted to wear, they would get to prepare for her to wear.
Okay, so all types of clothes that she requested will be given to her. Kol ma she haisa sho las shiavo ima mi base hanashim ad base hamelech lo hayu nim naim mimena. All that it would be that she would request that would go with her from the house of the women until the house of the king. It would not be
Wouldn't be withheld from her.
withheld from her. Devar acher es kol asher tomar v'nasan la. Alternatively, all that she requested was given to her. Shehayu ha sharim nosnin la mi mamon kedei levata shene amar yinatain la lavo ima. That it should be, what is this hasharim?
It should mean like the singers, that they'd have singers, noising la. Mom and Kadei, little boss. I think Hayusharim noisling la mama. They would have. I think it means that she would be accompanied by singers, and they would be paid in order to accompany her. Meaning, she'd make a grand appearance with singers accompany her.
Uh-huh.
You know,
That it said was given to her to go with her.
Yeah, like maybe, she could, if she wanted, she could hire, if she wanted to hire, singers to sing the Persian national anthem or something like that when she would come in, to, so she would be given money to hire these people. I think
Right.
that's what it means.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see. Let's see, that's a Pasuk Yud Gimel. Second. Okay, I don't have too much of a hesper on that. Nema yitim la levo. What? Because it says, what is it? It says yitim la levo ima. What does it mean, levo ima? The midrash is being medayik in the pasuk. Levo ima, that they come with her.
Implies people coming with her, not things.
Apparently, yeah, apparently. So this one wanted a brass band. This one wanted a violin, player. This one wanted, someone to play drums when she's making her appearance to Achashverosh. Each one would have her own, whatever she wanted. She could, have this one play flutes. One second. Okay, very good. Let's continue on.
Okay, Yud Daled. Ba'avor, he ba'a. Ba'avor, but I'm sorry. Ba'erev he ba'a. In the evening, she would come to him.
Yeah, the women would be brought to the king in the evening.
Lamadnu Tznius Melech. We learned the modesty of the king. Shelo Sheyimash Matsu Biyom. He didn't do something in the day. Sheyimash Matsu. I don't know what that is.
That Shalom, no, Shalom Mishimish Matiso Biyot. He didn't have relations with the women during the daytime. He only had the relations with the women that came into him. He would bring them in the evening, and they would have their chance with the king only at night, not during the day.
Shne'emar Uva Voker he Shava. As it says, in the morning she would go El Beis Hanashim to the house of the women. Lo Al Beis Hanashim, not to the house of the women. Lo Al. What's Al mean?
The Shavo El Beis Hanashim Lo Al Beis Hanashim. I'm not saying, what does this mean here? What does it mean? El Beis Hanashim. El Beis Hanashim. What does it mean here? Lo Shav El Beis Hanashim. Lo I think, they're making a distinction over here. Making a distinction here, 1 second. One second. Uh, right. Yeah, right. It says here, it's going to explain. It says she returned in the morning to the Beis Hanashim, lo el Beis Hanashim al Yad Hege. Not through the through the um, ministership of Hege, and making a distinction to who's going to be in charge of her now.
Ah, I was thrown off by that comma. Okay.
Yeah, the comma's a little distracting you.
Ella al yad she ashgaz saris hamelech shomer hapilagshim. Rather, she went to the place that was under the charge of Shaasgaz, who was the minister of the concubines.
Right.
Lamala Amar al Yad Haggai Shomer Hanashim. And above it says, under the control of Haggai, who was the guardian of the women. The Khan Hasiv Shomer Hapi Lagshim. And here it is written, guardian of the concubines. Lil Madcha Shebis Chala Nitanu
So this teaches you, but at the beginning, Nitnu Aide Hag, at the beginning they were given to the charge of Hege.
Al Yidei Haggai, by the charge of Haggai. V'kasher Baos El Hamelech Miketz Yud Bet Chodesh. And when she came to the king at the end of 12 months, Im Chafetz Ba Hamelech Haya Nosein Kesav Malchus Berisha. If he desired her, if the king desired her, he would give Notain Kasar,
Kesa Malchus Barosha, the crown of the
of the queen.
royal crown, the royal crown on her head. They would put the royal crown on her head.
If he wants her, he's going to marry her.
Yeah.
Ve'im love haisa nis nas al yad she'asgaz. And if not, then she would be given to the care of Ashnaz. V'haisa nikras min ha pilagshim. And she would be with the concubines. Shaharei ba hamelech aleihem, that we see that the king would come to them. Lo tavo od el hamelech. They would not come more to the king. Ki im chafetz ba, that if he desired her, hamelech benik ra b'shem, he would call to her by name. Aval pilgash haisa nikras, but a concubine,
Pelagic. Yeah.
Pelagish, but a concubine is called.
That should be, now should be called a concubine. Now should be called a concubine.
I'm a little confused by this. It says he comes to her, he doesn't come to her. He calls her, he doesn't call her.
No, she wouldn't, that's what it says here. Says here, says, if he wanted to make her the queen, so they would put the kesser on her head, the crown to put her wear on her head, Vim live. If not, I know how she would, if not, she would be given over to Shagaz, and now they would be called Pelagshim, Shari Ba Melech Aleim, because the king has come upon them. Below Ba'od Melech, they can't come anymore to the king, Ki'im, unless the king desires them and calls them by name. You know, Sally, Sally, you want Sally, come over, bring Sally. Okay, here comes Sally. Okay, if not, Sally will just she'd be a Pelagish. She'd just be called a Pelagish, a concubine. And, whatever concubines do, I don't know, they, mop the royal floors. I don't know what they do. But,
Okay.
yeah, okay. Actually, probably a good time to stop. It's 5 to 10. Okay. Good. Thank you, Lou. Very good. Well, so let's make a note for Yom Rishon. We're in Pasuk Tes Vav.
That's fun. Okay.
Yeah, Yeshikayach, Lou. Very good.
Rookie Mayor.
Thank you, Roy. Have a good afternoon. See you maybe tomorrow.
Everybody, see you soon.
Okay. See you in a few minutes.
Start
Okay,
Mr. Rusher
very
in a
good.
few minutes now.